Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz, and of course we are continuing our TNA playthrough, currently week 1 of August. And we have played over 8 months now of our playthrough, and, well, I mean, here's our progression. We started off with 54 popularity, up to 66 now. Southeast, who started at 68 popularity, up to 74, so some great progression. And we're starting to get there a little bit more in some other regions. Obviously now a big focus of ours is Japan. We really haven't got much of a presence there, but that's a goal that we have. But so far so good in our playthrough. We're currently a couple weeks away from the upcoming Hard Justice pay-per-view. And we have a couple more Impact shows that we need to get around to. And the plan right now is to get all of our Bound for Glory series members with 6 matches in the series under their belts before we get to that pay-per-view. And if we can get there, that'll be great. And actually, we know we probably could get them maybe to 7, but I think 6 will be fine, and then we get them to 7 on the pay-per-view. And the plan, of course, in the overall series is have everyone have 10 matches in the series. And at the pay-per-view after that, we'll have No Surrender. We'll have the final of the tournament there, so we'll have that play out right there. So the top 4 superstars, the top 4 wrestlers can get themselves in the semi-finals there, and at the moment it's very, very close, and we'll give you an update on where the situation, where the tournament is at the end of the episode after we get through today's matches. Okay, so our storylines continuing on, probably a big focus we've got going on right now, finally introducing the Global Championship into our show. It's been there a little bit in the background with Nakamura, but we now have the Global Championship on our main show with Matt Morgan coming along, so Tanahashi and Morgan are going to fight over the championship at our next pay-per-view. That should be interesting. Bobby Roode was involved. He's no longer involved anymore, I guess you could say. Now he's no longer the number 1 contender. Of course, the feud originally was Tanahashi and Roode. Now Tanahashi's now the number 1 contender. I guess I don't really know what we're doing with Bobby Roode right now. Obviously, we know he's so great. We really want to get him involved. We really want to do something great with him. He's got 60 popularity, as you can see, which is good because considering where he started, it's been a nice improvement. He started about 55, so we've done enough to get him to 60. So he's almost out of the mid-card of doom that we have going on right now. So many guys in that 45 to 60 bracket. So many there. We need to get some of them out of there. And Bobby Roode is just about to escape out of that mid-card of doom. So I guess the question is, do we keep him with Eric Young, who is at 57, 58 popularity? Keep that tag team going? Or maybe we try something else? Maybe we form, obviously we'd love to put Bobby Roode and James Storm together as a tag team, but James Storm and Chris Harris are performing very well as a team. There's no real need to break that up. They are doing so great together. Don't try and fix what's not broken. So it's just, let's stick with that. What do we do with Bobby Roode? Do we put him as a singles? Do we try and push him in that category? It's possible. I mean, look at what we've done with Ron Killings, R-Truth, whatever you want to call him. We've taken him from about 60 to 66 just by getting himself involved in some big headline matches in this Bound for Glory series. So it's possible that we can take someone from that level and rise them up more towards the upper mid-card to low-end main event level. So it is possible. We can do it. We know we can, but do we do it with Bobby Roode, or do we keep our Team Canada tag team that we have going on right now with Eric Young, which has been a decent little team, hasn't done too much since we've taken over. They're 2-time tag team champions historically, so that's great, but I don't know, because at the moment, if we break this team up, I don't really have anything right now for Eric Young, so he might just kind of flounder around and do nothing, and that would be a shame, a bit of a waste really for Eric Young. So maybe we keep the team going for now and we kind of reassess later. And of course, Motor City Machine Guns, very tempted to get Alex Shelley involved in the X Division Championship match, so that could also leave Chris Sabin without much to do either. That would also be a shame. But we're not going to break their team up or anything like that, but certainly we might transition them in and out of doing something with the X Division. Same with Marufuji and Kenta as well, and Aries and Strong, because they're so good teams. They're very good teams, but we don't, obviously we need some of them to compete in that X Division as well. Austin Aries in particular, his popularity's dropped a little bit, which has been a bit of a shame, but he certainly could offer something for us down the line. But that's just a few thoughts that I've got going on in my head right now. We may as well get into some booking. Let's get our Explosion show on the road. Let's get some shows done. Let's advance a little further. What's going on here between Melina and Sting? Melina, she has been boasting and has a cocky attitude. And of course, the judge of Wrestler Court in TNA is Sting. And he's not exactly happy with her. But we'll go ahead and get our Global Championship storyline. We'll play it out here on Explosion. We'll continue that storyline. We might even have ourselves a Bound for Glory series match here on Explosion as well. So we'll book those matches, and then we'll get into Impact as well later on. Okay, so here are the results. We had our pre-show. We had Melina and Melissa team up to take on Phoenix and Brooks. We gave Melina and Melissa the victory. Melina and Melissa have absolutely zero chemistry as partners, so the two M's are no good. So there you go. But not a bad match, 62 rated, of course. Beth Phoenix is doing very well for herself. And Tracy Brooks, of course, still going quite well. So there's some good stuff there. We had to try and get some women on the pre-show because we didn't really book them on the main show. So we gave Gail Kim a promo talking some trash to Melina. Kicked the show off with Matt Morgan and Tanahashi going back and forth on the mic. Dutch Mantel helped Tanahashi, thank goodness for that. So 75 rated segment to kick the show off. That's pretty good. Happy with that. And just kind of builds that storyline a little bit there. So we decided to test the waters. We'll see how Eric Young goes as a solo. He had a 70 rated performance against Matt Sydal. A pretty good guy to go up against. 69 rated match. Not too bad at all. Obviously Eric Young is a lightweight. He could fit in that X division quite nicely. So a bit of a test there to see how he would go. And didn't do too bad, to be fair. Monty Brown promo against Jeff Hardy. That'll be a match later on tonight. Naturals versus TNA Tag Team. It was TNA Tag Team get a victory. Of course, we had Austin Aries interfere to ruin the Naturals' chances of victory. To also further advance that storyline, 66 rated matchup. A-Train carried the match, of course, no surprise. In our main event, we had Monty Brown and Jeff Hardy in our Bound for Glory series match. And Jeff Hardy did get the victory by pinfall, so another 7 points coming Jeff Hardy's way. Monty Brown with another loss, unfortunately, but that's just the way it kind of goes. And this week we're going to be having a lot more singles matches. We have been doing some tag team matches and things like that nature, so this time more singles matches coming your way. And that was the first one. We planned to do 4 matches this week. I don't think we could fit all 4 and cover our other storylines on Impact, so we had to kind of throw one here on Explosion. It worked out pretty well. 77 rated. Overall, 76 rated Explosion. Well, certainly happy about that. So we'll now quick little look to see Jeff Hardy at the moment. Apparently his gimmick is getting a bit stale. So we're just going to tweak his gimmick. So if a gimmick ever gets stale, all you have to do is tweak it if you can. And we've tweaked it once. It cannot be tweaked any further. So next time it gets stale, we're going to have to change his gimmick, but it's a very good rated gimmick, so we don't really want to change it. So we have to do a bit of a tweak to it. Hopefully that will fix him and just improve his performance a little bit. And Monty Brown, still 68 over there. Just having a quick look to see if that may have helped him with a pretty good match that they had. Alright, so let's get into our Impact show. Alright, so we have a big episode of Impact going down here today. Big matches, 3 Bound for Glory series matches on the show planned. Hopefully we get ourselves a strong rating, so let's kick things off. We have Natalya and Jazz 101 in our pre-show. Natalya with victory, and Natalya 68 rated performance. Pretty good. And Jazz actually didn't get any negative reaction from the crowd for once. That's weird. That's a bit of a first, really. Tanahashi got a victory over Alex Skipper. I noticed we have a new skipper in quite some time, so I decided to give him a match, and we put him on the pre-show and just give Tanahashi another victory, some more momentum going his way. 79 rated, they still have some good matches, so why not do it again? We open things up with Christian Cage and Scott Steiner going back and forth until Jim Cornette came out and said, hey, it's time to have ourselves a Pick Your Poison match. So next week, Christian will pick Scott Steiner's opponent, and Scott Steiner will pick Christian's opponent, and that will happen next week just before the pay-per-view. So it'll mean our champion Christian has a match on Impact, which is a little bit rare, actually. We haven't had him at that many matches on Impact at all, so bit rare and a good occasion. So pick your poison. So we'll see who comes up with who? We open things up with AJ Styles versus Muhammad Hassan, Bound for Glory Series match. Hassan got a victory via submission, and he had a 90 rated performance. Muhammad Hassan outperformed AJ Styles. Can you believe that? Wow. Okay, that is unbelievable. Okay, 92 rated performance match, I should say. Both guys are terrific, and another great match in our Bound for Glory series. And Hassan gets the victory and will catapult him. I believe he's now equal third or something like that, or maybe even equal first. He's very close to the top. We'll see in a moment. Followed up with Abyss. He challenged, he had a promo about Lashley. They'll still have a match later on in our main event. Probably should have done AJ and Muhammad Hassan as our main event. Looking at it now, I thought it was going to be a good match, so I kind of put it as our opening match, but I probably should have main evented it now. Looking at it, I think it certainly will do better than Abyss and Lashley. Alex Shelley, he got a victory over Kazarian thanks to the interference of Homicide, distracting Kazarian. Now the plan is to put Kazarian in the triple threat with Fallen Angel and Homicide. We wanted to do a fatal four-way, but low-key bounced. Low-key's gone from our company a little bit earlier than I thought. I didn't really check, to be honest with you. But yeah, so we also wanted to give Shelley victory because, as we said earlier on, plan is to probably put Shelley in the X Division mix after the next pay-per-view. We do want to end this Machine Guns versus Kenta Marufuji rivalry, and we may as well end it with a pay-per-view tag team match or something like that. Maybe a fatal four-way. Just end it in a, end it properly rather than just kind of, that's it. We'll give it a proper send-off. We had Shelley and Saban. They cut a promo on Marufuji and Kenta to follow it up. Then we had Samoa Joe and Rhino, Bound for Glory Series match. I tell you what, our Bound for Glory Series matches are going pretty good. 89 rated match. It was a car crash type of match, so a real brawl. Obviously, both guys have great brawling skills, so we utilized that. And Samoa Joe, 87 performance. Rhino, 71. And Rhino, a little bit tired towards the end, so it may have affected his performance just a little bit. But hey, you get an 89 rated match, that's fine. Samoa Joe got the victory in the end. It says by submission, but I must have forgot to change that. It was meant to be by a pinfall, so Samoa Joe got a win by pinfall. My bad, forgot to change that. But yes, so 7 more points coming Samoa Joe's way. And look, you might be thinking, what are you doing with Rhino? You kind of, making him lose a fair bit. Yeah, the reason is because his performances just haven't been as good as the others, and I guess I'm looking at people who are performing really well and focusing on them first. And then guys like Test and Rhino who are going fine but not as good, and same with Lashley. We'll put to the back burner a little bit and we'll develop them. We'll keep them going good, but we won't necessarily push them above some of the other guys. Like Samoa Joe, 87 performance. AJ was 87 earlier on as well. Those guys deserve those main event spots a little bit more right now than a Rhino or a Test. A-Train, to be fair, he's doing very well. He probably deserves more of a push than we've been giving him. So that's something we should probably do. But certainly Rhino, I'm a little bit annoyed with Rhino. I thought he'd be doing better, but especially in a brawl match, only 71, which is good. But without Samoa Joe, this match wouldn't have been that special. Afterwards, we had Samoa Joe beat down Rhino just to add some insult to injury as well. Gail Kim had a match with Rebecca Knox. Both had a 68 rated in-ring performance. So obviously Rebecca Knox, when we get her to that good popularity, she's going to be so good for us. 74 rated match, excellent. We had Melina on commentary as well to advance that storyline. They had Fallen Angel cut a promo on Homicide. And our main event, yep, there you go. We had 2 fantastic matches on the show, 89 and a great opener, I think it was 92. And we put Abyss and Lashley. What am I thinking? What was I thinking? Why did I do this? I thought Abyss would carry this match and have an epic match. It was a wild brawl. So both guys have pretty good brawl skill, and they, to be fair, Abyss 89 performance, Lashley 72, but they just didn't have the psychology apparently to put on a great match. It was good, but we should have went with one of the other ones. So we missed out on a big main event. It was overall a good show, but we missed out. And afterwards, it was revealed that Abyss was the one who will be challenging Christian to a match. He was selected by Scott Steiner to be Christian's opponent next week. And rather than trying to scroll through all my angles, I just kind of went, alright, Abyss challenging Christian to a match. And a good little way to end the show. So next week, Abyss and Christian one-on-one. We still don't know who Christian has picked for Scott Steiner. Realistically, whoever is available that's not in a Bound for Glory Series match will do that. So Abyss, he's available next week, and we're going to do Christian and Abyss, and that should be awesome. We know those two have great matches, and we'll do it all again. 87 rated show overall. You cannot complain with that. That is good. That is good. We had a great opening few segments. I mean, look, 98, 92, 93. What a start. What a start to the show. And really, the whole show was great. We just kind of missed out a little bit on that main event, and that kind of cost us, but I'm not complaining. Not complaining. We had a good shot. So, that's good. And we might as well check in now and have a look at where we're at with the Bound for Glory series. So, here we are. Jeff Jarrett, Abyss, and Muhammad Hassan all have 29 points, so all technically equal first. Jeff Hardy has 28, so he's in 4th place. Sting has 21, so he's 1 win away. And of course, Sting does have another match up his sleeve. So does Jeff Jarrett, A-Train, and Ron Killings. So they all have another match next week before the pay-per-view. And then AJ Styles, 17 points now. Samoa Joe up to 17 points. So those guys are still within range. They still have a chance. And I think we may have some kind of special stipulation at the pay-per-view that will allow these mid-range guys like Lashley, Rhino, Joe, and Styles, and even Sting, a chance to get themselves in the top 4 with a special victory. So that will be big for them. And even a chance for Monty Brown, A-Train, and Ron Killings to revive their series and get themselves going a little bit. So that's the plan. We may try and do something there to invite that. And of course, if Jeff Jarrett gets a win next week, that'll be big. He'll have a clear-cut lead again and will remain in 1st place. If he doesn't, then he's not in danger of falling below, but certainly if he doesn't score himself a victory at the pay-per-view, he could be more towards that red line, which is very surprising considering the epic start that he had to the series. Alright, so let's check out the results and the ratings. So Tanahashi needs a bit of a rest, so we'll have to think about that. 3.69 rating for Impact, so our ratings are remaining strong. And just to compare, so 3.69, last week 3.57, 3.68 as well. So our ratings certainly getting towards the 4s now. We're getting past the 3s nearly, which is excellent. Very happy about that, and that's awesome. We're doing really well. To compare, SmackDown 90 rated show this week. Wow, look at them. Shawn and Eddie Guerrero. That is good. So there you go. But Todd Shane. So one of the Shane twins. He gets the call up to the WWE. So he's now been called up from developmental for them. So just a bit of a look at that. But yeah, so we may as well have a quick look at see where our popularity is at. See if any of these big matches that we had helped out. Rhino, not so much really. He's just kind of stagnant around that 70 mark. Samoa Joe, not a lot really going on there either, so no real improvement. We could have a look at Muhammad Hassan. No noticeable improvement there. And AJ Styles still at straight up 70. So I think even AJ maybe even dropped a little bit. Hard to really kind of say. So many numbers to remember. But yeah, so all is going quite well. And we may as well advance a few more days. We'll go to the next show and we'll kind of go from there. We'll see if there's any major news happening this week. So here's what's gone down in the last week. Roddy Piper is now officially a part of our roster, so he's now our new authority figure. I think it'll work out pretty well for us. Good popularity, my skills of 88, 85 charisma. If we want to, also could put him as a manager. Road Warrior Animal, his contract is expiring. 46 years of age, 70 popularity though. If we did sign him, now that would break one of our owner goals because he's over 45 years of age, which would be an issue. But 70 popularity, it'd be very tempting to bring him in just to lose to our guys, put him over and move him on. I don't know how good he'd be in the ring, probably about as good as Rick Steiner, probably, maybe not as bad, but yeah, it would be tempting. It'd have to be tempting. 70 popularity, we could definitely utilize that and put a few of our guys over. So we would have to break our owner goal, and that would obviously not be ideal. But we do have excellent approval ratings, so it wouldn't really matter too much. We missed out on Linda McMahon. Unfortunately, she's back in the WWE. What a shame we missed out on her. But we did sign one more person, and someone we've actually already had in the company. We brought him back. It's Conan. So Conan, he left earlier on in the year because, well, he was pissed off that he was losing or something like that. He wasn't happy. We signed a few people. He was just pissed off in general. So he left early January. We didn't have him for long at all. But he's now back. It's been long enough time. He's gotten over his issues. We brought him back because he's got 90 microphone skill, 86 charisma, 92 acting. So clearly he's a perfect manager. And of course, who do we put him with? Homicide. So Homicide will be managed now by Conan. When we bring up Hernandez from Developmental, we'll put those two together as well. So that should make Homicide even more of a better package deal, because he's already performing excellent. Now he's got the mic skills to back it up with him thanks to Conan. He should be fantastic. And also 68 popularity. That's been sneaking up. So keep an eye out for that. Certainly Homicide. Maybe now is the time to pull the trigger on him and give him the X Division Championship instead of Fallen Angel. We've already dragged the feud out long enough, and I'm kind of ready to move Homicide out of the title picture. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's a good opportunity. Maybe now that Homicide's even better as a package deal overall, maybe we go for it. I don't know. But we'll leave it at that. We are going to book another show. We'll try and squeeze another show into this episode quickly, so we are ready to go for our pay-per-view next time we come your way. So we will quickly get into this, and we'll book it, and we'll go ahead and show you all the results. Okay, so for Explosion, we had Joy Giovanni and Tracy Brooks. We just gave Tracy a victory because she's been on a bit of a losing streak, sacrificing Joy. Joy kind of sucks, so just give Tracy the win. We had an opener with Melina and Gail Kim. Bit of a risk to open with the women, but they delivered. 77 rated segment, just your modern back and forth opener on the mic. They delivered very, very well. We then moved on to New Age Outlaws versus Team Canada. Just again to see where these two teams are at right now. Who should we probably think about pushing into the title mix next? And I guess it was the team of Billy Gunn and Road Dogg who had a better performance. They did get the victory, so pretty good effort from those two. We then had a video hyping up Abyss and Christian that'll take place on Impact, since I think it's a big match, so we might as well hype it up a bit. Matt Morgan got a victory over Sabu, sacrificing Sabu just a little bit to give Matt Morgan a win to push him up just a little bit further. But realistically, Matt Morgan, 74 rated performance, which is great. 65 for Sabu, which is not great. Now that is why Matt Morgan gets the victory. We did a contract signing between Fallen Angel and Homicide, so we did that, and Conan debuted in that one as well. It's 87 rated segment, so obviously Conan coming in there and helping out Homicide quite a bit there. And obviously Kazarian's involved as well, but yeah, we'll kind of stick to just a contract signing between those two. They're the main two guys that are involved. But now, and that'll close out the show. So overall, 78 rated Explosion. Happy about that, as we'll move into our Impact show. Okay, so let's get into Impact. So we had Gail Kim and Melina. We did a bit of a hype video just to hype them up on the pre-show. Kenta got a victory over Michael Shane in the pre-show as well. And we had Natalia get a promo on Gail Kim as well, just to be honest, just get another woman on the show. But we opened things up with our Scott Steiner. His picked the poison match. Christian selected AJ Styles. So AJ Styles gave Scotty Steiner a run for his money. Now, another reason why we did this as well, just to help Scott Steiner out just that little bit more, to get a bit better of a match out of this. Christian was on commentary for this match. 85 rated match overall. And also another big match for AJ as well, to get himself involved in and perhaps boost his popularity along. A good win for Scott Steiner. He did beat AJ in the end. Afterwards, we had AJ and Christian. They came in and they decided to try and one-up Scott Steiner and get involved. But Abyss came out and came in for the save and stopped that beatdown from taking place. I know it's kind of a role reversal situation, but we just kind of went for it. And 91 rated segment, that went down pretty well. Devon and Runt had a match against Aries and Strong, and just to advance that storyline as well, we had Jim Cornette on commentary talking trash about Team 3D, of course. Jim Cornette, America's Most Wanted's manager there. We then had A-Train cut a promo on Sting. We're going to have A-Train versus Sting up next. They had an 80 rated match and they don't seem to click. Looks like they have no chemistry, so could have been better, but A-Train kind of carried it to an 80 rated match, thank goodness. Sting did get the victory, of course, taking him now to 28 points. Then we had Sarah Del Rey and Molly Holly. We kind of forgot about this storyline, this feud that we had going on with two of our lower end women, but we decided to just kind of end it on this show, just kind of do something with it and finish it up here. So we had Sarah Del Rey attack Molly Holly backstage and then challenge her to a match, and of course Molly Holly did get the victory in the end. 67 rated match, not so bad in the end, not so bad. So that will conclude their little rivalry that they had going on. Then we had Jeff Jarrett. So here's the thing, Jeff Jarrett's taking on the bottom placed R-Truth. So first versus last. So Jeff Jarrett should get a victory over Ron Killings pretty easily, but he doesn't. We had Ron Killings get the win with a surprise roll-up. So Jeff Jarrett taking Ron Killings easy, doesn't even care, not even worried about him at all. Thinks he's an easy win, and he treats him like that. And in the end, Ron Killings gets a flash pinfall victory over Jeff Jarrett, getting his first victory in the tournament. I thought, you know what, let's do something different. Let's spice it up a bit and give Killings a surprise win, and he does it over the main man, Jeff Jarrett. So big upset there. 80 rated match. Now that could have been a lot better if we just had a standard match, but in the end we did Jeff Jarrett. We had to protect him. We had to do everything we could to protect Jeff Jarrett, and because of that, it certainly brought the match down. But 91 rated from Jeff Jarrett, 80 from Ron Killings. So if we revisit this match down the line, it would be a really good one. So afterwards, of course, Jeff Jarrett got his heat back by laying out Ron Killings, I should say, R-Truth. So he laid him out, attacked him afterwards. Our main event, here you go. So this is it. Abyss versus Christian. Abyss beat Christian thanks to the interference by Scott Steiner. So Abyss 88 rated, Christian 95, 96 rated match. Scott Steiner got himself involved, screwing over Christian and allowing Abyss to take advantage and get the victory. So advances the Steiner and Cage storyline, gives Abyss a big victory as well. And also the interference kind of protects Christian a little bit as well. So 96 rated match, excellent. 92 rated show. There you go. Can't get much better than that. That is excellent. Very, very happy about that. Awesome main event. Turns out that was a good selection, I guess. We knew Abyss and Christian have great chemistry, so it was always going to be a pretty safe pick. But you also, if you're going to have Christian lose, you want to lose to the guy who's probably the next in line, the second best guy on the roster, and that is Abyss. So big match there, and a great result overall. So 92 rated show overall, 96 rated match right there. And that's why Abyss and Christian is such a good matchup to have. Now for the Bound for Glory series, this is where we are at. So with Jeff Jarrett losing, he didn't advance. He didn't get that little lead that he was looking for. So still 29, 29, 29, and 28. So unchanged is the top four. Sting goes up to 28 points, and Ron Killings finally records a victory. He now has 7 points. So everyone in the tournament now has a victory as we head into our next pay-per-view. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool to give Ron Killings a much-needed victory. And before we get going, let's check out the last little pieces of news here. The deal to show Explosion on Spike is only has 1 month remaining. It's expiring, so that's not good. Booker T and Sharmell have divorced. Okay, wasn't expecting that. And we had a 3.7 rating for Impact, and well deserved. We had a great show. We certainly deserved that little spike in the ratings. And Abyss, hard to say if he went up in popularity. He probably did. Christian, I think Christian probably dropped a little bit. We probably sacrificed Christian a little bit. And just to kind of show how special, I guess, that match is. I mean, taking a look at Christian and how often he's kind of wrestled. He's only had 14 matches in the last, 8 months. 8 months, and you can see not a lot of Impact matches, mainly just pay-per-views, maybe 1 or 2 Impact matches before pay-per-views. So kind of cool to get Christian involved, and that's actually his highest rated match that he has had, and against Abyss. So there you go. They had a lot of matches earlier on, And they had an 88 rated match at Sacrifice. So they've had some good matches, but just couldn't quite get there. 92 rated at Lockdown as well in a steel cage. So just a non-gimmick, only 20-minute match, 96 rated. And of course their popularity is a lot higher than what it was back then. So no real surprise there. Did Jeff Jarrett lose any popularity? Oh, he may have. But Ron Killings, did he gain anything? No, not really. A little bit, yeah. Probably 66 up to 67 in a lot of regions. So he's gained a little bit. So Jeff Jarrett might have lost just a little bit there. But hey, he's got plenty to lose, to be fair. And it was a nice little. You can kind of just picture that happening. Just a cool little moment. And afterwards, R-Truth just gets the hell beaten out of him by Jeff Jarrett. I think that would have been really cool to see. But so yeah, that's where we're at right now. Another win for Sting as well. So very close right now in our Bound Glory series. Next up, Hard Justice. We'll have some kind of special stipulation there. Hard Justice, basically Hardcore Justice, I think. So probably some hardcore matches we might try and do, and some big gimmicky matches there as well. So should be a lot of fun. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and stay tuned for Hard Justice coming away very, very soon. Hopefully we can have another great show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.